welcome back
I hope I don't die in this.
to the... welcome back to the frozen north of Icewind Dale. As always, a thank you to @theartof_Jen on Twitter for our wonderful artwork of our adventures. Credit to Tailspare for the map software that we use, and for Wizards of the Coast for all the amazing artwork of the monsters and the settings that we encounter in the campaign that they have written that we're playing. So, last we left off, Dearaen the Tiefling Bard, Sho Val the Human Rune Knight, Mordin the Tiefling Ranger, Tok the Half-Orc Eldritch Knight, Kibbles their mascot fox, have found themselves in the Cauldron Caves, a small outcropping of caves on the east borders of Loch Dineshire between East Haven and Caer Dineval, Caer Dineval, where they had been in search of some missing fishermen at the request of the East Haven captain of the guard, Imdra Arlagath. They had made their way into the caves, fought a wolf, and unlocked a water weird from a frozen waterfall, before stepping in and meeting the frozen skeleton corpse of a frost giant, which dealt a hefty blow to the party.
Freaking hurt.
Ow.
And while attempting to rest, in a nook, a frost spider had attempted to abscond with one of the adventurers as a means for food.
Tieflings are friends, not food.
But they're so spicy and wonderful.
It may be cold here, but that does not mean that everyone is in the mood for Indian food.
What, have you never had
Spicy
tiefling curry?
Have fun with the indigestion.
No, I kind of picture Tieflings more as Hispanic.
Ah.
Personally. Because everybody loves tacos.
Well, speaking of cannibalism and eating people, let's talk about the hag that they just walked into the den of.
Good transition.
It was right there, I had to do it.
Yep.
So,
okay.
as I will remind stream, I'm going to pull up the picture of Maud. I think. Nope. Nope.
Of who?
I
You
had.
just give a name drop?
Accidentally, yes. Where is it?
I didn't hear it, so yeah.
Oh, there it is. Sorry. The hag that is currently throwing entrails and stuff into a giant pot. A cauldron, if you will. And as Sho Val pokes his face around the corner of the wall, he comes face to face with this old, decrepit woman, having this kind of sickly grayish skin, bulging eyes, and stringy black hair. And she introduces, and she beckons to him, going, "Did you have a good nap?"
What I know
And
about
that is
hags.
where we pick up.
What I know about hags.
Roll me an intelligence check or an arcana.
Either way, it's +1.
So roll
Yeah.
away.
15.
Not bad.
Okay, so you know with a 15 that hags are being they are planar beings that kind of deal in
Very sick forms of magic.
very sick forms of magic, and also they deal in very convoluted deals. I think you're a stereotypical fairy tale where a hag will randomly curse somebody, or somebody runs into the woods and finds a woman and kind of
Right, I've
asks for
heard
a
all the
wish.
stories.
Yada yada. Yeah.
I've heard all the stories,
Yeah, and you.
but I know that they're at least based on something.
Yeah. Another thing that you would probably be more aware of is probably the fact that hags kind of change their appearance and tactics kind of based on whatever environment is around them. So, what you see before you is a more fishy-like appearance. That of a sea hag versus somebody that would be like in a swamp or in a woods or on the shadow plane. And you also know that hags in greater numbers are not fun to deal with. Especially if they get into their guns.
We wouldn't know anything about that at all. Strahd. Okay.
I quickly, or not quickly, I slowly, take 3 steps back, and I'm just like, Scooby-Doo, or Shaggy that saw the monster, and it's just, no.
Now that there's space to look around the corner and be like, hey, Sho Val, what'd you find? Hello.
Just heel turn, walks back. Ooh.
Come on in, you four. The meal's just about ready. I'm sure that you're so hungry after defeating all the residents of these caves.
Looking at the entrails being put in.
Just calling in. And yeah, give me a perception check. As
Yeah, dude.
I am assuming Dearaen pops around the corner a little bit.
14.
Boop.
Yeah, Sho Val took a few steps back, and I was like, "Oh, look, a space to actually look around the corner." Oh.
I can't they're right.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just like...
So, yeah. With a 14, you look around and you see a kind of like a stone, like a stone table. Maybe more like a butcher's table. It's got the remains of what would appear to be humanoid. I mean, you can kind of see a foot, but it's just kind of like carnage and meat at this point, and maybe some bones sticking out here and there.
Just kind of look at that and be like, we ate as soon as we got back. We woke up, so thank you for the offer, though. You wouldn't have happened to found a few fishermen in the past week, have you?
Found? I didn't find anybody.
We were told that this is where they last were.
Now, there were a few people that came by.
Alright.
And they were very rude. So I decided that I should use them as a spice for my soup. Besides, this old cauldron doesn't make the soup any more tasty. It's fairly bland. Come, have a taste test for me.
I'm afraid I'm not much. I don't know much about spices.
Why are you doing this to me?
Because you wanted a way out of this without fighting. Try to be nice.
I push forward and enter the room, walk up to the cauldron. Stealing my resolve.
Oh, God.
Do you have a spoon?
She kind of rummages around and hands you a bone that has been kind of whittled down into that of a spoon.
Okay. He takes it and looks at it. Just because it's who he is, he does take the inner part of his cloak and kind of wipe off the bowl of the spoon. Dips in and gives it a taste.
I mean, I'm not gonna feign too much interest. I don't know what human tastes like, so.
Well, fun fact: some scientists actually did figure out how human taste and made vegan meat.
Yeah, Soylent Green. Got it.
It tastes like pork.
It tastes of human blood and skin and the sinews of stuff. And
Mordin,
and on top of that, it has a kind of a
rancid.
It actually has like the makings of like a regular stew. Like you do see some, oddly enough, like regular vegetables in it.
Vegetables, fish.
Well, not so much fish.
All right.
But I think like potatoes and carrots and maybe some celery and that kind of deal.
Mordin lays the spoon down onto the edge of the cauldron, reaches in his pack, and pulls out one of the bundles of spices that he has. And he said, "Here, try this, and I would add more carrots."
I thank you, Daddy. Now what brings four adventurers of your ilk this way? You've handled my guard fairly well. And frankly, I don't want to leave my home. If that is what you intend.
We're not here to evict you. We're only looking into the disappearance of fishermen. Which seems to be the rude people that you mentioned before. So I guess we can just chalk their disappearances up to hazard of the job? Occupational hazard? Sorry?
Give me a persuasion check.
16.
Get advantage for helping with the soup.
That's up to her.
Yeah, no, that's why I was waiting for an answer.
I'm rolling some dice here, just... You're a devious one, aren't you?
No more devious than the next.
I like the way you think. Say, I have a little bit of a deal proposal for you. You leave me alone, you don't tell anybody of me.
Tell people of who?
Of her.
Yeah, hold on a second. Let us speak. Alright. Go on.
And I know of a treasure that lies at the bottom of the lake. We agreed? We agreed?
One.
Yes. Yes, locked in here. The one that's just outside the caves.
Do you
Each
know
of you
means to get to it? Other than
you promise not to do what I said, and I will bring it to the shore for you.
having dealt with hags in the past because of his brother, Mordin gives a curt nod, pulls out a dagger, slices his palm, and holds it out to him. We will not tell anybody of your existence. That is a fair trade.
She grabs a few like occult mishmash, like a mishmash of like bones and like I think like dark magic accoutrements.
Something that we hope is chicken bones, but it's probably not.
Probably not. And she takes a handful of it, presses it into your hand. I'm gonna have you take a point of damage.
That's fair.
Just a single point.
Yep.
As you kind of feel a surge of magic binding you to the
Pact.
Binding you to the deal. Before this magic is sealed, you do speak for your entire party.
That I do.
Dearaen just does a thumbs up.
And in a final smash, or kind of like a final somatic component, you kind of feel the magic kind of complete, and a small wispy wispy kind of tendril flows from Mordin all the way, 3 of them, into Dearaen, Sho Val, and Tok.
We have an accord.
Now, wait here until midnight, and I will be back. I will leave a chest of gold. The chest, the treasure. I imagine there's gold in it. You'll find it just on a mile north of the shore.
That's fair, I suppose. As long as you keep up your end.
And from there, she kind of nods and takes her leave. Exiting out this way. Shoop. And you kind of see a kind of flash behind you as a will-o-wisp blinks into life and follows her.
Will-o-wisps are so cute. But deadly.
Kind of.
Okay,
So,
Hogan Bond Strangle.
yeah. So you are free to explore her
Domicile.
and just take your leave.
Perception on... Or just investigation that she is not there
Yeah.
or anything.
I will say that you
Yeah,
do make sure that she leaves.
I immediately take out my water skin and rinse out my mouth.
Sorry, but in terms of spices, you were the best one to know about too.
If there were rules for corruption, I would have totally given you a point right there, but there's no rules for corruption.
I didn't swallow. It was all under my tongue.
Do you need to purge yourself?
Later.
I'll help with that.
Wait, later. We'll deal with it later.
Yep.
So yeah.
I did not want another... I did not want to get into another fight here. This place is bad.
Yep. I've had a feeling, so I was trying to avoid it at all costs.
So,
yeah. I guess I'll do... Do you want investigation or to try to find evidence of these fishermen?
Yeah, you can... you can look around the room, do some investigation rolls if you want.
I'd like to do some investigation as well.
Yep, 13.
I'll do it as well. Oh, so close. That's 12.
5. I don't find squat.
Paul is just completely, like, mildly scared, but mostly confused, and just...
You don't need to be afraid. Just don't say anything about her to anybody.
I open my mouth and, like, point at my missing tongue.
I point at
You won't be saying anything.
Type things out.
So yeah, you look around, you see a kind of like a stone block atop which there's a bunch of butchered meat. Heaped around that block are some rusty hatchets and what you can basically assume are the flayed corpses of 4 fishermen.
Alright.
There are some clothes kind of heaped into a corner. And you can find maybe some like hooks or kind of like fishermen have like the like tokens of things that they like to carry on them. That's kind of found in a pile.
I find these like usually pinned to their vests or their hats. Yeah,
that kind of thing.
I find those and I kind of put them in a satchel.
Yeah. But other than that, there's nothing really of note other than the cauldron. Which is currently piping hot, full of stew. Which, as you kind of examine into it, you can see lumps of flesh and organs floating in the spicy broth. a bubble pops and you see an eyeball floating.
I could have gone my entire day without knowing that, but thank you.
You're welcome.
Let's see.
Here, let's go into graphic detail about how there's a human human organs just boiling in a pot. You're welcome.
It's like haggis, but not inside the
Goat
stomach. And with
Speaking
extra
of which, you can also find a stomach in there.
Probably.
If you want, you can also roll me a Arcana check.
Can do. 19.
Okay. You're not too familiar with it. I will say Dearaen, just because you're fairly knowledgeable. You've heard of magical cooking ware? And some of the things that you overheard the hag say kind of makes a little bit more sense as you also look into the cauldron and you see some other like stew stuff in it, such as vegetables and stuff.
I think that I just blinked at me.
Yeah. You could probably guess, taking a little bit of time to discuss, even between the rest of you, that you don't have a confirm on it, but you have heard of a cauldron of plenty. It's a cauldron that is made of thick copper that has turned green with age. It's 4 feet wide with a mouth of 3.5 inches, or 3.5 feet in diameter, weighs 50 pounds, and can hold up to 30 gallons of liquid. Embossed on its bulging sides are the images of satyrs and nymphs in repose holding ladles. The cauldron comes with a lid and has hide handles. It sits on 5 little clawed feet that keep it from tipping. If water is poured into the cauldron and stirred for 1 minute, it transforms into a hearty, hot stew, which can provide 1 nourishing meal for up to 4 people per gallon. The stew remains hot while in the cauldron, then cools naturally after it is removed. The outside of the cauldron remains safe to touch despite the heat of the stew. The cauldron can create stew 3 times. It then ceases to function until the next dawn when it regains all it uses.
So, with Dearaen knowing that it's cold to the touch.
So basically, you can make about 120 per 120 gallons of stew, or 120 meals.
But
Per
Dearaen
use.
Yeah. Dearaen, with that knowledge, Dearaen's just like, hey, check this out. Takes off his glove, puts his hand on top of the metal.
What? We're heat resistant, dude.
Yes, but that still means we take damage. But I'm not. What?
It's actually like mildly cool to the touch, all things considered. Like it's not even. It's actually like mildly cold. You can actually kind of see like a little bit of frost towards the bottom of the cauldron.
I take my hand off and show there's no searing at all. Like, yeah.
Your hand does not look
cauldron.
hotter than usual.
Yeah, it doesn't look charred at all.
Magical cauldron.
Yeah, it's cauldron plenty. Pretty much just a gallon feeds 4 people, and water magically turns into broth. Although the actions admittedly have been somewhat perverted.
Crap.
But yeah,
If I put up this. If this wasn't being used to make human soup, could this actually help feed the people of 10 towns? And
Yes.
Yes, but do you really want to anger a hag?
we'll come back to it if we really.
I don't think it should be a problem.
If any of you, any of the rest of you want to make an Arcana check on hags, you can.
I can, yeah.
Potentially learn a little bit more.
14 shit. I don't know as much.
Oh, dirty 20. Sweet.
I expended all my knowledge.
Yeah. Tok and Dearaen, you just kind of getting from the glimpse that you had of the hag, you could probably guess that she didn't look very healthy as per se. Very much a how do you say that she doesn't have a lot of HP?
Kind of
haggard.
feeble.
She looked very brittle.
Yeah. She looked very brittle. You do know that some hags have some weird magics, but other than that, do you think that you could probably easily actually take her in a fight?
Well, we probably could take her, but she hasn't
If
been all that
if that is something that you want to do, it's one of those like, not necessarily you have to, or
yeah,
but
I pull up the. Even if she's not that hard to take down, she's got friends. Let's not forget that.
yeah, and
I'm also wondering what that would do for the pact that Mordin just signed with her.
yeah, and
Nothing.
Nothing?
The pact literally was we do not tell anybody of her location.
yeah, and she hasn't really been hostile to us, so
Yeah.
give me
really
an
see a
insight check,
reason.
Martin. Give me an insight check, Dearaen.
okay. It's a 7.
Never mind. Mordin, you can also give me an insight. Dirty 20 for
20.
him. You feel a little bit more attuned because you kind of spoke with her. She realizes that since you took down the frost giant skeleton, that she probably doesn't have that much of a chance in a full-on combat against you. That's why she opted for, hey, let's just make a deal and we can get the
Get out of each other's hair.
get out of each other's hair.
I'm not going to lie to you guys. That cauldron would help out Tourmaline. It would help out
East
10
Haven.
towns.
Right.
Any town we take it to.
So, quick DM, what time would it be?
I would say it is probably around, I mean, not that you have any way of guessing, per se, because it's kind of like an eternal night kind of deal. But, you probably have another 5 hours.
Okay. So, let's see. So, group
You would be
consensus.
guessing.
Yeah, group consensus. Do we wait for her to come back, then try to take her, or then take the cauldron? Or do we get out? Well, I'd say leave it up to a vote.
Huh. Would probably would be knowledge survival, but would that cauldron be able to go onto the boat with us
Yes.
without issue? All right.
It only weighs
Um,
like 30 pounds.
Getting it out
50, sorry.
of the getting it out of the caves will be a bit of a hassle.
No, it won't. We have a talk.
Well, you also have to get all the stew and stuff out, which is
Clean it out.
I don't know about you, but trying to lift a 30-pound or trying to tip over a 30-pound thing full of 30 gallons of liquid is not exactly very easy.
Of blood and viscera, yeah.
Well,
Mordin.
Sho could also help me.
I
Or bicep.
say we take her, but let's do this smart. Let it set up some traps.
Plus, getting
I
that
don't
treasure might be a good thing. Also, I don't know if she's listening in on us somehow. I just realized that.
Yeah, I don't know if setting the traps would be. I don't know if it would really make a difference. She seems to know quite a bit about, where we are and how many of us, and I'm just worried she would detect them and, nullify them.
I'm not talking about magical traps. And I just hold up the 4 oil flasks that I have left. No, I have 6 left, but I hold up 4 of them.
DM.
Yes.
Would the Rune Knight's flame rune with the chains ignite fire? Or ignite those oil?
I would say yes.
Okay. Just as a point of reference for later.
How high is the ceiling?
The ceiling
And-
probably extends up 40, 50 feet. But there are stalagmites and stalactites kind of hanging up and down from the caves, just from the natural formation of a river going through here, and then condensation and whatnot,
Yes, drippy droppies.
creating that kind of atmosphere. Said oil. Because an oil flask. Okay. So when you throw an oil flask, you get to treat the oil as an improvised weapon. On a hit, a target is covered in oil. If the target takes any fire damage before the oil dries, after a minute, the target takes an additional 5 fire damage from the burning oil. Or you can throw it on the ground and cover a 5-foot square area, provided that the surface is level. If it is lit, the oil burns for 2 rounds and deals 5 fire damage to any creature that enters the area or ends its turn in that area.
Yeah, I was reading it.
A creature can only take this damage only once per turn. But yes, I would say that your fire rune could ignite the oil for an extra 5 damage.
What do you guys think?
Worth a shot. compared to that frost giant?
What
Well, it
do we
wouldn't be
know
too bad.
about the will-o-wisp? Can I make an Arcana check on that?
Yes.
What?
Yes, you can.
May I also?
No, you can't.
Sure.
Was not asking.
I only got an 8.
Nine.
Okay, then I will roll. Okay, 14. Oh man.
Um. I will give you a little bit of lore, and you can learn. I will say one thing from the kind of from the stat block, if you will. Will-o-wisps are malevolent, wispy balls of light that haunt lonely places and battlefields, or bound by dark fate or dark magic to feed on fear and despair.
Huh.
So basically, beings that perished in anguish or misery and kind of live as a kind of source of ethereal energy that tries to feed on the living and their anguish and misery.
Right. Not much to go on with that.
And what would you like to know from their stat block?
Like
Or like
stats or ability?
I would say one or the other.
Can they be used for surveillance like spying?
I will say that you know that they can become invisible.
Okay.
And can technically speak, but it's very unheard of.
So those little balls of light.
But the one that you saw seemed to follow the hag.
Yes,
Last you know.
but that doesn't mean that there aren't more. Let's see. So that little ball of light that was following her, probably more. They could be spying on us. So don't know if they are actually feeding her this information. So just be on your toes.
Tough decision.
Then I just say I get close enough that I can douse her with the oil and then you light her on fire. No use in building a trap that she can easily see.
Yeah.
and then I say we just wait for her to get back.
Yeah. We could also look at those other two entrances near the front of the caves. See if there's anything in them.
The ones that were higher up.
Yeah. We've got a few hours.
Well, she's not going to take a few hours to get back, is she?
She said wait until midnight.
Oh.
So... you could probably guess that, with it being 5 hours out, and probably more 4 hours, 3 minutes by now, that it's probably going to take her a while to get to where that chest is and then bring it all the way back to shore.
So you're saying we got time?
You have a good amount of time.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go check them out. Then.
Yeah. Let's
Okay,
go explore.
So, you basically explored everything except for whatever was above the bridge.
Yeah. So the two cave entrances near the front that we didn't get to go through.
So... Okay.
Wait a minute. I can teleport. I forgot about that.
Wait, really?
Yeah,
What?
shift, left click.
Oh, I thought you meant your character. Like, how the hell did you forget about that?
Yeah, I was like, wait a second, what?
I can teleport.
So, apparently
it's
if you...
Is it just this ability I had since, like, first level?
So, yeah. So I will say you... You said click tab? Or shift tab?
Shift, left click.
I'm
And then you
doing
can move around the map, and then left click where you want to be.
Oh! Okay.
It says it
Now,
down at the bottom.
You do have to drag, though.
Yeah. Bada bing, bada boom.
So... I'll take you to the... take you all back to the front, if that's what you want to do. Otherwise, you can go up the... you can go back to the river and try to climb up to the bridge. If that's what you want to do first.
Yeah, let's go from outside.
Yeah, I can see the most footholds on the outside.
That's fair. So give me an athletics check as you try to climb the thing.
Whee!
Whee!
I got a 10. It was almost a nat 1.
Suck at athletics.
Okay.
22. Yay!
Yay!
12. I am not in it.
Mordin!
Yeah, I know. How much damage?
Give me just a second. 6 points of damage. You kind of sprain your shoulder as your feet give out from under you, and the rope that you're hanging onto, the weight of your body like pulls your arm almost out of socket. As you're trying to climb.
Can I use acrobatics to climb? That just seems a little bit better for my character.
Unfortunately, athletics is climbing. It's a strength-based skill, not a balance. It's how well you can lift your body. So, which entrance did you want to go to? The first one or the second one?
I was gonna say first one, but
Okay.
so
So, well, the first one was over here. If you want to go there.
well, I was saying the first one that we could see, so that's why I went with that.
So, and then there's that one. Well, the rest of you make it up just fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll say the rest of you just gonna make your way up. Shoop. Dope. As you enter through the map.
Okay.
The path of rock branches off to the left and to the right.
May I do like an investigation or something like that? See
Yeah,
if
you
I
could
hear
do-
anything.
You could do a perception check.
Perception, okay. Shit, I can't hear.
You can hear wind howling. Kind of through the caves, kind of with that, like, cave whistle. But
Everything seems fine. Giant spider. Fuck.
But no, you don't. Everything kind of sounds the same, and you don't hear anything you don't hear anything in particular in any of the.
Okay.
In either direction.
I vote right.
Okay. And does everybody else want to follow?
I follow you. Just kind of being heightened with my passive perception of 17.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, nothing is poking its head out at you.
Yeah.
And you're not.
Yeah.
You're not seeing any tracks. You're not seeing any thing that denotes a living being going to pop itself out at you.
Okay. Is there anything I can do to make sure that we're see if there's anything that comes at us or a trap or anything like that as we make our way along?
Sure. Give me another perception check.
Okay. Oh, you fucker! You fucker! That was almost a nat 20.
You trip over a rock. You stub your toe. You don't find any.
Okay, moving right along.
There's no traps.
All right.
You move along, and you come along to the bridge.
Oh, hi, Balrog.
What?
You shall not pass.
Multi-pass.
Fuck.
So, if you want to cross the bridge, you gotta give me an acrobatics check. The bridge sits about 20 feet off of the ground.
21.
A 21 successfully goes across.
Cool.
There's a little bit of ice and stuff on the stone bridge.
You said athletics?
acrobatics, dexterity.
Balancing act.
Dice don't fuck me over now. 19. Thank you, God.
You are flying across the channel. You kind of like use a sword as a balancing pole.
Thank you.
Mordin, it is your turn. With a 23, that is a save, but I will allow it.
Oh, sorry.
Is the modifier any different?
Yeah, actually, it's 2 less, so 21.
Okay, yeah. I'll say that still counts. Enough. And Sho Val. How dexterous is Sho Val?
Not very. Not weak, but not very.
We can do it.
Are you feeling lucky?
I am.
You're feeling very
There
lucky.
you go.
All of you got
Nimbly.
close to 20. Holy
The
crap.
gods are with you.
Okay, so you make it across the thing.
There's
and...
our good rolls for the night.
Or fuck.
Next stop, the soup.
Uh-oh.
So you come across into what appears to be an abandoned campsite.
Okay.
There are charred remains of a campfire, and you can kind of see some, like, maybe a bedroll. Give me a investigation check if you want to kind of like search through a little bit.
Q, I was just about to ask that. 15. Okay, not too bad.
Might as well hope.
Fuck. Can't investigate nothing.
Well,
Yeah, we really did waste all our good rolls on that.
Yeah, I'm done investigating.
That's too hard. Dearaen, you kind of look first, and hidden kind of in the campfire, or the remains of the campfire, you can find some torn out pages. Slightly partially burned. What looks like maybe from a journal written in Dwarvish. Dwarvish?
I can read Dwarvish.
Oh, well, I was gonna virtual cast comprehend languages, so yeah. Found some burnt pages written in Dwarvish.
Work up and I grab.
I hand them over politely.
I start reading
Okay, Mordin.
out loud. My voices are. Oh,
There you
I
go.
actually can read.
You can read it.
These caves are sacred to the frost giants. The carvings on the walls suggest the giants came here to drown themselves. Did they use the hot springs as a sacrificial pool? The wind truly sounds like a wailing woman. One could easily go mad in this place. I think there is someone living in these caves. Shortly after discovering the hot spring, I heard what sounded like a granny singing. When the song ended with a shrill laugh, dread sunk its teeth in me. Ye gods, that horrible cackle. I shall leave these caves in the morning and never return.
Huh.
Well, I think we already met the cackling lady in this.
Journal remains are all we can find.
I mean, you can kind of see just like a little bit of strewn padding and stuff of a bedroll, but for the most part, it looks fairly,
Undisturbed.
fairly empty, I should say.
How old does that fire look?
Give me a
Survival?
survival check, yes.
It's a 3. Just trying to get a judge of time.
This campfire has been here for eons. Like, this wood could be taken to a museum and put on display.
It belongs in a museum.
So do you.
Rock off.
I didn't do much better.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just hard to date wood. And how
They never
early.
pay for meals. Sorry. Okay. I think we're good.
Okay. So you have to make your way back across the bridge. Mwahaha!
Dearaen somehow developed snowshoes.
We're already wearing snowshoes.
Okay.
Oh yeah, technically we are. Yeah.
We had them
yep.
in our inventory at least.
Yep, but
Yeah.
it doesn't help you perform a tightrope walk. So each of you give me acrobatics checks as you take your turns walking across the bridge.
What? That's a 10.
10.
Ooh. Ah, fuck, nat 1. Damn these dice.
No.
Oh, I got a 9.
we're all
so you're making your way across.
Moving right along.
Dearaen and Mordin make their way and get basically to the other end, and you hear
Oh, fuck.
you hear a kind of an oh fuck as Tok goes spilling off the side, and then you hear a clang of armor as you hear Sho Val also go off the side,
I just kind of imagine the
landing on
Robin
top
Hood
of
men-
Tok.
I kind of imagine the Robin Hood Men in Tights scene, just where he pushes the ladder over, and he's like, "Oh shit!"
And both of you are prone.
Carefully look down. You're like, "You alive?"
But
Barely.
that being said, I'm gonna roll some damage here. So each of you take 6 points of falling damage, and Tok, you're gonna take an extra d6 because Sho Val landed on top of you.
Oh.
Damn it, Cheval.
That'll be another 5 points of damage.
Ah,
Well, when a guy in full plate armor lands on you from 20 feet,
Splint armor, but yes.
well, it's still heavy armor.
I look over to Mordin and be like, "Should we get like a rope and rappel down?" Or should we just go back around?
Yeah. Well, splint armor is still made out of
Well,
metal.
There's.
Actually.
We should just go back around.
I mean,
Okay.
you two can. I will give you the option of just dropping a rope down and just tying it to a rock, one of the stalagmites that are closer to you, and then they can just climb their way back up
Sure, let's
Well-
do that.
with advantage.
Let's do that. That way they can focus on their athletics and not their dexterity.
They can use their strength.
Use the
I-
muscles.
Securely tie a rope to a stalagmite. And
Oh!
kind of toss it over the edge so they can kind of use the corner to help them out. As close to the wall as possible. So they're not just straight climbing a rope.
Sure. So, give me some athletics checks. Shall we? As you attempt to climb the rope.
Cheval, Tok.
Cheval, Tok, give me an
I thought
athletics
it was
check.
just the people.
Yeah, they're the people that are climbing up the rope.
Oh,
Which is you two.
Ooh, 24.
22.
Oh, thank you, God.
Think this we got.
Climbing is a lot easier than balancing.
We redeemed ourselves.
Ish.
Ish. Yes, ish.
Ish
I'm
is
sorry,
good.
I misinterpreted what you guys were saying as somebody was climbing down.
No, we were climbing up.
Well, I was suggesting we climb down, but then we all went with climb up. So whatever.
Well, no, there was another area we haven't searched up here. So
All right.
So you make your way back, and there is a pathway to the right and a pathway forward, which leads you back out to the entrance that you came in.
yeah,
So I'm assuming you want to go to the right.
I grabbed my rope back. By the way,
Yeah, that's fair.
I go to the right.
As you enter into the right, roll for initiative. No.
Fuck you. I quit.
No.
Wait, what the fuck is that?
The cave
know yet.
is empty. Except for what appears to be 3 ice-covered pillars composed of mineral deposits.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait.
Actually. Oh, jeez.
What?
Okay.
Well,
So
no.
that'll be these little pillar things here.
Ah,
Yep. Nothing really of note.
Okay.
I think
So
I think I'm getting a cold.
that.
God
Oh
damn.
no. So you continue on, and you find a path that leads to the right and one that leads to the left. You could probably assume that the one to the left leads to that first entrance that you spotted on the outside.
So I go to the right.
And as you look
Cautiously.
into the right,
Again,
nothing
passive
jumps out at
perception.
you. Nothing
Passive
jumps out.
perception of
Yeah. No.
17.
There, you don't hear any like scuffling or anything.
No snoring.
No snoring beasties.
The only sounds that you hear, the only like signs of life that you are looking for, just kind of basically aren't. Nothing's pinging on your radar, as it were. This one, however, as you go in, you can see little stick figure drawings carved into the northern wall of this tiny little recess in the cave.
These must be the drawings that the dwarf was talking about.
Give me
Cave
a
drawings.
history check. Anybody that wants to.
Okay, dokie.
I'm pretty good at that.
Ooh, 17.
16.
So, Cheval and Dearaen, you, specifically Cheval, because this kind of pertains to, the giant lore that he's been learning. He can, probably with the help of Dearaen and whatnot, you interpret the carvings, which kind of show frost giants wading up a river to a cavern that contains a hot spring, which they drown themselves in a matter of sacrifice or something. For what? You don't know. Maybe it's a weird, a really weird giant custom.
Pretty much just the same thing we learned from the journal. This is where they went to die.
And more, which means more dead giants at the end of the river.
Yeah, but they were deep in the deep.
Yeah,
deep
they were probably a good 10 feet down, at least, buried under ice.
Yeah, but the thing we fought was probably stationed here as a guardian, but then brought to life by the hag. That was just my general stipulation, but I will do an Arcana check just in case.
No, that's about what I was going to say. Is like you could probably guess that the hag used some sort of arcane magics to reanimate the frost giant.
She did say it was her guard. So.
Let's head back to the hag's cavern.
Yep. I think these two need to recover a little bit.
After all of that, you probably have about an hour and a half left to go.
Oh? That'll give us plenty of time to get some rest.
That's a short rest.
Yep. Which we got a long rest before, so we should be fine.
So yeah, back to you can easily make it back to the hag's lair.
Woo! And I am there.
And you can take a short rest.
I'm good.
Is there anything that you want to talk about during the short rest, or do?
What was this way? Oh, another that led to the
hot spring. Yeah. Or what's left of the hot spring.
I find a nice flattened stalagmite. Take a seat.
So yeah, you end up taking some seats by the cauldron. It's a cauldron. Which is still boiling with stew.
Yes, I know. Do I find the lid?
The lid is there, yes.
I put the lid on it. Okay, so I put the lid on it.
Yep, you put the lid on it.
I was just saying, nobody said anything after.
There's nothing much else to say.
Not really.
We just wait out for the witch. The hag.
Yeah.
So yeah, you kind of wait out the witch a little bit. So you're just gonna spend your time just resting. Why don't we roll hit dice if you want to roll hit dice?
Okay.
Cool. There we go. I did it. I did a thing. I'm close enough.
Human guts do.
We're not being very entertaining today.
It's been a long week.
Yeah, no, I'm
It
exhausted.
really has. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it felt like Friday all day today.
Yeah.
was
Do
a
we
fun
want to
day.
cut? Do we want to cut to running north, or
Yeah.
okay?
I thought
So
we were waiting for the hag to
Well, she said to run north. To
about a mile north of the shores.
Okay.
So
hey, look, there she is.
actually no.
Huh?
The hag is not there, but the chest is.
Well, I was just saying because the figure is still there.
Oh.
I was just joking around.
Yeah. I'll have you bring yourselves to the entrance a little bit.
Okay.
As I kind of, yeah. Let me just gotta build. Watch me build the map.
So back to that little cave entrance that we just went to.
Kind of into this little snowy outcropping thing that I'm putting together.
Go.
Really quick.
Okay.
Cause why not? We're going off the grid!
We're doing it live.
1 second. I need to find myself.
Risking a talk figure.
Doc, move yourself.
I don't know where the fuck they are.
Third entrance. The tall one.
Now, do I use the gift wrapped presents?
Sure, why not? It's close enough to Christmas.
We haven't had Turkey Day calm your tits.
I have not started any Christmas music.
Yay!
Says the bard. Yes.
Where is
Or
Slimy's interior?
Here, Doc, click on one of our guys, like Dorit or mine on the side, like the
Ah,
icons,
there we go.
and you'll see where we're at.
Boop.
Give me a minute.
That's a barrel.
That's not a barrel, it's a chest.
Markiplier would see it as a barrel.
But it's not completely round, it's actually square and stuff. See? You can open it. You can open it.
I can open it. Oh my god. Keep an eye out for the hag and just cautiously walk over to it.
Okay, how do I get rid of the thing?
Get rid of what thing?
Mordin would like to open a chest.
That's a thing that I can do. So, as with no sign of where Maud has went, you find a chest that is sitting slightly covered in a frost from the ice that had frozen on top of it from pulling it under, like a fresh frost. Yeah. And it looks like the whatever lock that was on it has been broken off. The latch is broken. A waterlogged wooden chest on the icy shore.
Okay. Okay, so it's not locked, but can I do an investigation for like any sigils or anything?
Sure.
Just want to make sure that it's not arcanely booby-trapped and not one. It's a chest.
It is indeed a chest. It does not have any sigils on it whatsoever.
Seems legit. Okay.
22.
Thank you.
It's a chest. It doesn't have any sigils whatsoever.
Okay. Slowly open it.
And it is full of gold.
Right? About how much gold would you say?
If you start kind of pulling it out a little bit to kind of get a gauge on it. It has probably what you would guess as maybe, I don't know, 600 gold.
Not bad, not bad, not bad.
But as you're kind of like reaching through, digging through, the gold coins shift a little, and a hand grabs onto your wrist. And I need you to roll initiative.
God
damn.
18.
As I go and put on the battle music.
Goddamn mimic.
Well,
The 6th.
Yep, we're killing the hag.
Oh, that bitch is going down.
Kill the hag, then we're going back to town and kicking that bard's ass.
Monsters? So... It's nature. Wait, ooh, Grim. I can do Grim.
This is all too easy. It's just like, there's gonna be something like a mimic or something in here. Sure enough. Eh?
Nope.
Gold piles.
Nope. No, it was a... Oh, tab. Boop. There we go.
What?
the hell?
Tools, set size, MIDI. So, I don't have a miniature for a crawling claw. So I'm using skull piles instead. Size, boop. And they are all on that. Okay, so boop. So we have Dearaen up first, Mordin, Sho Val, and Tok. But Tok's before Sho Val. And we have a whole bunch of skull piles. So one's gonna go before each of you. Just for this sake. Just for the hell of it. So, one... one of the claws grabs onto you and is going to make a claw attack. Who would have guessed? Getting a 7 to hit.
No.
Dearaen, it is your turn. As this disarmed hand tries to grab onto you and, within, an inhuman strength, try to grip into you.
The DM is making more puns than the bard. Oh god. Let's see.
You all take psychic damage! Ha 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 ha!
Oh. And they're all right there. So, guess I have no choice but to... I pull up my lungs. Well, narratively, shake the arm off me.
Yep. It is not grappled onto you.
Yeah, I figured there was a narrative.
Yeah.
Pull up my long sword, two-hand it, and go to swing it. Swing at the one that tried to grab me.
Okay, go for it.
Whee! That's a 16.
That'll hit.
And that is max damage, 11.
And it's dead.
You're like, son of a bitch!
That's one of them dead. Boop.
Next.
Next one attacks you again. Another one attacks you. This time getting a 21 to hit.
Yeah.
This time it's gonna do 5 points of damage, and it's gonna try to grapple you, and it climbs across your body and up to your neck, and is chokeholding you.
Me like you hate me.
Mordin, it is your turn. As you see Dearaen have a disembodied hand trying to strangle him to death.
This is not my cake!
Short swords, I attack the one that's at his neck.
Roll with disadvantage because you're trying not to hit your ally.
You got 11.
You don't hit it, but you don't do any damage to Dearaen.
Alright, then I just attack the other one. I'll attack one that's coming out of the chest.
Coming out of the chest, yeah.
16.
That one will hit. And it is dead. It is Tok's turn. You see one hand currently strangling onto Dearaen, and on the other hand attempting to crawl up him from the...
I'm getting Bart Simpson choked out.
Yeah, basically.
I'm going to run over and
Use your safe word. Use your safe word.
Pineapple! Pineapple!
Oh!
ooh, dirty 20. Nice.
Nice. Yeah, that hits.
Rolling damage.
Damage.
10 damage. There's 10 damage.
Yep, that is one dead hand. Sho Val, it is your turn.
Get that off!
There is only a single hand that is currently strangling Dearaen at the moment. What do you want to do?
I use the hand shovel and try and pry it off of his throat.
Give me... You're not attacking it, but... give me a contested strength check.
Do you want me to do athletics or just strength?
Athletics.
Yeah, fuck that. 50.
I got a 9, so you managed to get it off and throw it maybe 5 feet, like right over there.
Backpack.
That is your action.
That is my action. Save
Okay.
things.
That one went after
This
I
one is going to scurry. Oh, yeah. I'll just move it in the initiative. So, Dearaen, it is your turn.
I just look at it and be like, your kink is weak. Vicious mockery.
Wisdom saving throw?
Yes.
Okay. I got a 19!
Seriously? Fails
Well, to be fair, it doesn't have ears, so...
It just needs to be able
It's
to
just
hear
a hand.
Kind of.
It doesn't have
We're
ears, so it
fighting-
can't hear.
We're fighting the
if it can-
thing from
Yeah,
fucking
the Addams family.
Adam's family. Yes.
Thing.
Apparently it thinks its kink is strong.
And now it's gonna go jump on Tok.
Oh.
A hand is climbing up you. Getting a 19 to hit.
Ah.
And it's gonna deal 5 points of damage.
Oh, God, I hate these dice tonight.
And it's now choking you out. Mordin, what do you want to do? They managed to pry the hand off of Dearaen, but now it's on Tok.
Sure, I'll take an advantage shot.
Disadvantage?
Whatever, yeah. $18 disadvantage.
Yeah, that'll hit. Still loading on my side.
5 damage.
Yeah, it's dead. Oh, yep, there he goes.
Ugh.
8 points of
And
psychic.
Thank you, Mordin. Oh, that was uncomfortable.
I know, right?
Yeah, I know how you
Yeah.
feel.
Okay. So, well, good news is there's 600 gold in here, so that's 150 each.
It would look weird if we just brought an entire chest back with us to town.
So let's put it in our pouches now and discard the chest.
Yeah. Is there anything else in the chest?
Nope.
Okay,
Just
So-
600 gold and 4 hands. Which are now broken and... They're kind of like, yeah, broken fingers, but they're also kind of like doing that weird spider thing of like having all the fingers just like pointed up in the air with the back of the hand on the ground.
Goddamn wall masters. Okay, so 150 gold for everyone else. For everyone, and let's go see if our new friend is still there.
And
Agreed.
with that, let's call it there for the night.
Yeah.
Oh,
Call it a little bit early,
Aw, but we want to kill a hag.
but that
Cut.
increases the tension just that much more.
Cliffhangers.
Yep, cliffhangers. So
That's why they're called cliffhangers. If anyone
God.
gets that reference.
That was reading by the book. No, it was a PBS show. It was a PBS show. I swear. It was,
Between the Lions.
Between the Lions. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah.
Yes.
Anyways, with that, we will end it there on a bit of a cliffhanger as our adventurers, with a now vendetta of being slighted by a hag, go in search of killing it. And that is where we went. So until we see you next time in the frozen north of the Forgotten Realms, in the 10 towns of Icewind Dale. Bye!
Bye.
Bye.